constant question. Are we live? I think we might be. Yes, we are. Hello. Welcome. Well, welcome to another very, very warm day here in Tokyo. It's been quite unbearable today, but finally now, since the sun has set, temperatures are getting a little bit more manageable, so that's a good thing. I'm here in front of Sakura-Shinmachi station, which is a nice residential area, not too far from where I live. It's only 2 stops away on the Tokyu-Den Toshi line. And the plan for tonight is, I think, about 90 minutes, an hour and a half walk to see this last bit of sun disappear and the night lights switch on, and doing so while strolling around in mostly quiet residential areas. Maybe some sort of drink might be consumed. That is quite likely for those of you who know this channel. But other than that, yeah. By the way, this area is famous for this anime that I forgot the name of, but I'm sure someone knows in the chat. So that's kind of what this area is famous for. Sazae-san, that's right. That's the name of the anime, manga, both. Yeah. And hello everyone! Wow, already 150 people has tuned in, and plenty of familiar faces I see in the chat. That is good to see. Thank you, G-Man Threefold, for the very nice super sticker with the relaxing pear. And yeah. Also, I noticed that my mega supporter Mikael Eideholm is in the house. Hej och välkommen Mikael. He is a very, very important supporter of this channel, so please be kind to him in the chat. But yeah, it's been a very, very hot day. I was spending like 4 hours outside with my daughter today. We were mostly, or basically only sitting in the shade, but still, like, all that time outside in the heat really kind of zapped my energy. So I was a little bit unsure as if I would go out and do a stream today, but in the end the temperature dropped a little bit, and now it's actually quite comfortable. And also it looks like we will have a very beautiful evening, so in the end I decided to let's go. So let's go. And of course, people, I know that you want a weather report, a more exact one. Wow, here's a big flower shop. I'm actually not so familiar with this area, to be honest, so I'm kind of looking forward to this little walk. Anyway, weather, 26 degrees here in Setagaya, sunny, 55% humidity, barely any wind. I can't feel any wind right here where I'm standing now. Thank you, Mikael Eideholm, for the super chat. Ice cream. I'm in the mood for some ice cream. I was actually planning on buying an ice cream on my way to the station, but then I realized that I didn't have time for that, because then I would not arrive here on time and you would have to wait for me. And I felt, is that worth it for an ice cream? Having dozens of people wait for me? In the end I decided, no, it's not. You are worth more than my ice cream. So I didn't have an ice cream. I'm checking the chat now. What are you saying? You're very lucky that you're in Japan. Japan is a very beautiful country. Yeah, I am quite happy to be here. It is a nice country. It is a nice country. Ice cream is bigger than beer o'clock. We'll see. I think it will be either ice cream o'clock or beer o'clock later this stream at some point. So now I am heading kind of to the northwest, I think. And the plan is to pass through some interesting green spaces that I've noticed on Google Maps. And then in the end I might actually walk back to Futako Tamagawa, my neighborhood, because it's not that far from here. So I might explore a few new streets on my way back to Futako Tamagawa. Yeah, this is a pretty nice neighborhood. I think the houses here are somewhat on the expensive side. And we are about, from here it's less than 10 minutes to Shibuya. So it's a good place to live, you know, you have kind of local vibe, it's relatively quiet, still lots of restaurants and shops around the station, and yeah, you are not far away from central Tokyo. Japan has 2 cities in the world most livable city 2021. Oh yeah? Which survey are you talking about? The Monocle one or The Economist usually does those as well? Which is the other city? Fukuoka or Kyoto? I know that Monocle tends to have a very favorable view of Fukuoka. I'm kind of curious about this liquor shop, but I think it's too early in the stream to go hunt for beer. Anyway, yeah, Tokyo is a pretty livable city in many ways, and so are Fukuoka and Kyoto. They're all nice cities. There are lots of nice cities in this country. And okay, I think I need to do a FAQ pin and rules in the No, I'm not lost. I'm not lost. I'm just there we go. I just posted about the FAQ because I noticed that there's already people asking some of those standard questions. So for those of you who are new to this channel, please read the FAQ, which is in the video description, before you ask any questions. There you will find the answer to things like who am I, where am I from, what do I do in Japan, and all those things that everybody wants to know. I wanted to pass this place. I looked at the map and I saw that there was a coffee shop here. I see. A special woman taught me the joy of drinking coffee. She had a beautiful smile. I made this coffee stand so I could see that smile again. Interesting. Thanks for that information, whoever wrote that. But it looks like a pretty nice little place. I should check this out sometime. I think they're closed now. Yeah, they closed at 6. What about beer ice cream? That sounds gross. I don't know if it exists, but I don't think it sounds very tempting. So it looks like there's some sort of green space. One block up here. Yes, good. I'm on the right track. So today I actually did kind of make a route in advance, not like super detailed one, but kind of having a sense of where I want to go today. $250 viewers now, or no, 286. Wow, welcome everyone. If you are new here, please write a line in the chat. Let us know who you are, where you're from, why you're watching, and if you've ever been to Japan. Michael Samira. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. At least that would be bringing something new to the table. So here's that little green path or park that I saw on the map that I wanted to pass through. This is quite interesting. I think these are apartments, but this looks kind of not very Japanese to me. Somehow this apartment block reminds me of Europe. Interesting. Yeah, on the really hot summer days, temperatures tend to be painfully close to the 40s, which is not nice. I mean, today it was like 30 and 50% humidity, 30 degrees Celsius, and I found that being almost unbearable. But then I'm like, oh wait, a month from now it will be closer to 40 degrees and the humidity will be close to 100%. Yuck. Isn't this rush hour time? Oh, it is, but this is a very quiet residential area that I'm walking through now, so if I would be close to a station, you would have seen a pretty steady stream of people, but yeah, a place like this, it's just quiet and peaceful. And for those of you who are new to my channel, I usually prefer to do like quiet walks in quiet areas like this, even though I do walk in central Tokyo and in famous places like Shibuya from time to time as well. But in general, yeah, maybe compared to other Japan, like people on YouTube, look at this. It's very, very similar to the one we found yesterday. I'm not gonna go for a ride tonight though, not in this one anyway. So yeah, compared to many other YouTubers who just shoot places like Shibuya Crossing and Shinjuku and those kind of places, I prefer to showcase a different side of Tokyo. the quiet side, where most people living here actually spend most of their time. Apato じゃない？まあ英語でアパートメントっていうと日本語のマンションの意味ですけど、日本語のアパートは英語でなんて言うだろうね。cheap apartments かな。Oh, see, we have a nice sunset coming up. Ah, this is right. This is Bajikoen. This is like a horse riding park, but it's closed right now. It's actually quite nice to walk around in there, but yeah, for some reason the entire place is closed right now. Mikael Eideholm, have you tried the bag of rice vending machine? Bag of rice vending machine? No, I don't even know that. Where? I don't think I've ever seen a bag of rice vending machine. I've seen machines where you can wash rice. Maybe they're like fixing. Maybe this is gonna be one of the Olympic venues. Maybe that's why it's closed. Probably. That's why it's closed, because they're preparing for the Olympics. Horse riding is going to be one of the Olympic sports, I guess. Nah. Of course, that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Let me do a little map check here. Right, I'll go down this way. I'll head down this way. This street looks very boring now when it's just these white fences on both sides. How much to rent an apartment for 1 month in Tokyo? It really depends. Can be anything from 50,000 yen to 1 million yen, depending on the location and the size and the standard. Ah, 昔バジ公園周りにランニングした。あ、そうね。あ、突然にランナーが出ました。Yeah, it looks like this area is popular among runners. Actually, one of my viewers who used to live not too far from here just said that he or she used to run around here back in the days. It's not so nice now though, but probably when without the construction going on, I can imagine it's a very nice running course. This looks like, yeah, this is distribution center for Kuroneko, like the delivery service with the cute logo. Hello from Romania. How hard is it to move to Japan in perspective of IT industry? Qualified IT people are in demand here. So if you are skilled in IT, I think it's relatively easy to find a job in Japan. Okay, so one run around this park is 1.6 kilometers. Actually, now we're heading down towards Yoga, which is a neighborhood I've walked in quite a few times. on my channel. These look like nice apartments with a good park view, probably. They look quite fancy by Japan standards. Yes, the salaries in the IT industry, well, they vary a lot. Some companies pay well, but there's also a lot of really low-paying jobs, which, a friend of mine who's an American, he used to live here in Tokyo and he loved it, but eventually he moved back to the US because he could get paid so much more for the same job if he moved there. Oh, nice view here. I think I might snap a little potential thumbnail photo. New member, thank you. How wonderful. Welcome, DJI Emperor, to the channel. Now you will also get that cool little logo next to your name in the chat. Hope you will enjoy that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ah, Mikael Eideholm, you got the postcard. Great, thank you. Yeah, since you're in Sweden, you should have received it by now. That's right. For the rest of you, it might take a while. But the postcards for May are on the way now. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, it's my little postcard club, which you can join through my Patreon page, which is linked in the video description. So if you join that, the postcard club, you will get a photo that I shot sent to you as a postcard in your mailbox every month. And if you enjoy this channel and my videos, then joining me on Patreon is the best thing you can do, because then you will also get access to some special Patreon-only live streams, as well as being a pretty awesome person who helps me a lot. Now I am heading towards the Kinuta Park, which is another really nice park not too far from here. That's, for those of you who are familiar with my walks, you might remember that tower over there. That's the tower in front of Yoga Station. そうですね。でも馬事公園は今入られないから、残念ながら。開けたらまた行きます。And that's funny. So this area is kind of horse themed. So this police station actually have a horseshoe around their entrance. That's cute. I haven't seen that before. Thank you, Von XL. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that. So one of the reasons why I'm doing this, doing all these walks is, well, first of all, I enjoy walking a lot. But then it's also to kind of give all of you who are currently unable to come visit Japan because of the pandemic, I want to kind of share a little glimpse of Japan and let you experience it through my videos instead. So it's always good to hear when people appreciate that. Hello Jenny, welcome. Please, Tama River, go. I walked along Tama River 3 days ago, so I'm not really planning on doing that again tonight. TE, do you play PC games? I do, but I don't really have much time to play games these days. But I do have a gaming PC at home. But I think the last game I played on that one was probably Red Dead Redemption 2, and it's probably a year since I booted it up, like before my daughter was born. Oh, there we have yoga again. Yeah, I sometimes wish that I had more time to play games, but whenever I have some spare time, I tend to use it for these walks instead. So maybe you viewers should be happy that I'm not playing games these days, because that would have meant less walks. Yeah, I'm not really interested in Battlefield and those kind of online only games. I like old retro games from the 90s, and I like games with a good story, and I also like games with a unique idea. That's kind of my taste, I guess. 西大賀通りは桜が綺麗。あ、そうですね。この辺桜が多いですね。なんかいっぱいちょっと細い道にいっぱい桜がありますよね。あ、Thank you, Jörg. Thank you very much for the super chat, super sticker. Live game playthroughs is a popular topic for YouTube streams. Yeah, it is. It is. And I've been considering it. If I were to start a second channel, if I ever suddenly end up with way more spare time than I have now, it would be fun. It would be fun to stream like my old favorite games from the 80s and 90s and from arcades and so on. But there's no way I have time for that right now, unfortunately. Ghost of Tsushima. Oh, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't played it, but it looks quite interesting. I like games like that. Games which are beautiful and who are like almost like a virtual travel. I think I would enjoy that game, but I haven't played it. Let me check. Just need to make sure that I'm on the right track. I am on the right track. Excellent. Oh, green light here. So yeah, I think these are mostly cherry blossom trees. The streets around here are beautiful in the cherry blossom season. Unfortunately, that was a couple of months ago. スウェーデンに帰ると逆カルチャーショックありますか？あります。絶対あります。毎回。なんかまあ日本はもう13年間住んでたから、もうなんか日本の文化とか日本の生活はすごい慣れました。だからスウェーデンに帰ると、本当にちょっと厳しいカルチャーショックになる。今年もそう。多分今年帰ったら一番強い一番大きいカルチャーショックになると思います。2年間ぐらいは日本から出られなかったから、 So one of my Japanese viewers asked me if I ever get like reverse culture shock when I go back to Sweden, and I definitely do, since I've spent most of my adult life here in Japan. It's always a big shock when I go back to Sweden, and yeah, things that I am used to taking for granted does not really happen in Sweden. So, and I think especially this year, if I'm able to go back, it will probably be quite severe, since I haven't left Japan for 2 years, which is the longest time ever that I haven't been outside Japan.スウェーデンって道どんな感じですか？そうですね。説明しにくいですね。まあ街によって全然雰囲気が変わるですけど、ストックホルムに行ったらストックホルムは一番大きい街ですけど、ストックホルムならなんかもちろん人が多くて結構賑やかな街ですけど、もっと小さいな町に行くとなんか静かで何にもない、人もすごい少なくて、お店とかレストランもあんまりない。ちょっとつまらないんですけど、その代わりにスウェーデンの自然がとても美しいです。小さい町に住んでる人はみんな自然にいるのが大好きだから、いろんなアクティビティ、ハイキングとか湖に泳ぐとか馬を乗るとか、いろんなアクティビティができます。 So sorry for all the Japanese speaking things, but yeah, another question was like, how are the cities in Sweden compared to Japan? And it's very difficult to generalize because yeah, we have small cities and we have big cities, but in general, of course, all the cities are way smaller than here in Japan, and there's much fewer people out and about, especially in the smaller cities. There's like not that much to do, and not so many shops and restaurants either. But on the other hand, when you're in a small city, you usually have very nice nature that you can enjoy quite easily because of the low population density. There's lots of untouched nature in Sweden, and that's one of the best things, especially in the summer, where you can go like swimming in a lake, or you can have a nice walk in the woods, or you can go horse riding if you're into that, or hiking, and depending on where you are in the country, of course. So yeah, it's great if you're like if you're a nature lover. Sweden is great, but then again, like Japan has a lot of nice nature as well once you get out of the cities. So here's Kinuta Park. I actually think I won't go through the park today because now it's getting a little bit dark, and it's not so nice to walk in the park when it's dark. So I don't think it would be terribly interesting to walk through it. Instead, I will walk around it. Then we will get to a little river that I will follow down back towards Futako, Tamagawa. Yes, this is a great park though. Kinuta Park is one of my favorite parks in Tokyo. It's amazing here during cherry blossom season. I was hoping that I could have streamed here in the cherry blossom season, but unfortunately I was not in Tokyo at that time. Yeah, the air in Sweden is generally very clean and nice, and I love the Swedish summer nights when the sun hardly ever sets and when everybody is happy and out and about and enjoying life. So I really hope I can go to Sweden next month. I really hope so. スウェーデンの夏はどのぐらい暑くなる How hot does it get in Sweden in the summers these days? Like on really hot days it's like 30 plus, right? 35? Does it even get to 35? What do you say, Mikael Eideholm? なんかよく覚えてない。でもやっぱり最近はどんどん暑くなる。30度に超える日は昔結構珍しかったけど、今の世代は30度以上そんなに珍しくないですね。でも日本と比べると一番大きな違いは湿気がないスウェーデンで、だからあんまりなんか日本はすごいベトベト、でもスウェーデンの夏は本当に気持ちいい。It was 27 degrees last weekend. そうか、先週末なんかヨテボリの近くの町で27度だった。あとまあスウェーデンはね、日本より面積が広い。だからまあ日本だと北海道と九州を比べると全然気温とかまあ気温がだいぶ変わりますよね。スウェーデンもそうだから、南の方だったらまあそんなに寒くない冬。多分まあ北海道より暖かいスウェーデンの南の方。でもスウェーデンの北の方に行くとマイナス30度とかによくなります。So yeah, it really, I explained that Sweden is actually bigger in size than Japan. So the temperature varies a lot depending on where in Sweden you are. So of course if you're like in Hokkaido in the north of Japan, the winters there are really, really harsh as well, and they can also have like minus 20 degrees in the winter, which is the same in the north of Sweden. In the south of Sweden, it's like, it's not as hot as here in Tokyo, obviously, because after all, Sweden is way further up north. But it's not like I don't know. It's not. A lot of people here seem to think that Sweden is this very, very cold country with polar bears and super harsh winters. But the reality is that the winters in Sweden are not that harsh, unless you're in the far north. But hardly anyone lives there, so. That tower is a waste furnace smokestack. Yeah, the tower we just passed. Yeah, I think that might very well have been true. This looks like some big distribution facility as well. So here's, again, Kinuta Park down here. Has Norway colder climate than Sweden? Not really, no, because Norway is... Basically all of Norway is coast, or at least most of the country. And the coastal climate is a bit milder than the inland climate, which we have in many parts of Sweden. But then again, Norway extends even further up north than Sweden. So if you go like really to the northern tip of Norway, it's pretty darn cold around there. But a few years ago, I went to a place called Tromsø, which is really far up north in Norway. I think it's further up north than the northernmost point of Sweden. I went there in March, which is still pretty cold, but the weather wasn't that much colder than the winters that I was used to in a place like Stockholm. So yeah. lot of talk about Scandinavian weather while we walk through this tropical summer evening here in Tokyo. Half 日本人です。そうかもしれないですね。もうまあ何人だろう。100% スウェーデン人はまだもうなんかもう感じていない。でももちろん日本人でもない。めちゃくちゃな人になりました。So let me check the map again where to head from here, if I should keep on walking this way or if we should maybe head down this direction. 今日はすごいチャット結構なんかいっぱいメッセージが来るので全部読めない。すみません。So I'm sorry if I'm missing out some of the messages in the chat because it's very active now and I'm a little bit focused on the walk. No, I think we should continue this direction. Okay, good. Or actually what I could do, I could also walk through the park, like at the narrow end. Let's see, what time is it now? It's 7. Yeah, let's walk through the park. Then I will kind of be where I want to be. Do you like watching football? No, I do not. I don't like watching any sports. I tried once, but it was really boring to me. So no, zero interest in sports. To the river. Yeah, when we pass here we will get to that river as well. It will be a little bit of a shortcut. Because I think walking along the edge of the park is a little bit boring too. It's not super interesting. 7 o'clock and it's yet so bright. Yes, it is. Sun has set though. So within 15-20 minutes it will be way darker than it is right now. Okay, bye 公園。Yeah, these are actually all cherry blossom trees. These trees are super beautiful when they're just full of cherry blossoms hanging down. It's a great location for photo shoots. I did a photo shoot here with my wife last year's cherry blossom season when she was pregnant. We got some nice photos around here. We were hoping to do some family photos this summer or this spring, but since I was away traveling for work, that didn't happen. So hopefully next year. 桜の木はスウェーデンもあります。あります。もしストックホルムと桜を Google に検索すると綺麗な写真いっぱい出ると思います。So yeah, one viewer asked if we have cherry blossom trees in Sweden as well, and we do. Especially one place in central Stockholm is quite famous for its cherry blossom. A place called Kungsträdgården, which is very beautiful. So Kungsträdgården, Google. その公園で毎年桜の時期にちょっと日本のフェスティバルやってます。 runs a tiny little river here, and it's really, really dark. It's darker than what it looks like on the screen. But basically I want to walk up here, and then we will be on the other side of the park. It's very, very quiet here. Beer talk. So I should get a beer soon. I should. I've walked for almost an hour, 45 minutes. スウェーデンに帰ったらどの町に住みたいですか？そうですね、難しいね。できればマルムっていうの町に住みたい。マルムは一番南の方、デンマークのコペンハーゲンの近い町ですけど、そこに家族はいっぱい人住んでます。ですけど仕事のために多分ストックホルムの方がいろんなチャンス、仕事としてのオポチュニティがあると思います。だから難しい。So another viewer asked where in Sweden I would like to move to if we move to Sweden, or when we move to Sweden, and it's difficult. Maybe Malmö, where most of my family members live, which is in my opinion a very nice city, even though there's a lot of negative press about it, but it is a very nice city that I have a very weak spot for in my heart, which might have to do with the fact that I was born there, even though I wasn't raised there, but I was born there. Anyway, it would be nice to move to Malmö. I like that city, and many of my family members live there, and I also like that it's so close to Copenhagen, which is one of my favorite cities in Scandinavia, and it also has the best airport in Scandinavia, Copenhagen that is, so it's great for traveling as well. But if I were to get like a normal job, if that would ever happen, it's quite likely that I would get that in Stockholm. So there's a chance or a risk, depending on how you look at it, that I could end up in Stockholm. Yes, and you can drink beer on the streets in Copenhagen. That's true, and the beer is way cheaper than in Sweden. That's another important factor to consider. Chance to opportunity の違いは何ですか？そうですね。説明しにくいですね。I don't know how to explain the difference between chance and opportunity. 結構難しい質問。僕はあんまり英語の先生ではないから本当に説明しにくい。でもちょっとニュアンスが違いますね。Maybe one of my English speaking viewers could explain the difference between chance and opportunity. I kind of know the difference, but I don't really know how to put it into words. So now we are almost leaving the park. Oh, thank you, Jenny. Beer o'clock. Thank you, thank you. How long do you want to live in Sweden before retiring in Italy? Good question. I don't know. Probably want to live in Sweden until my daughter is independent enough not to need us nearby. Yeah, I think that's probably what I would say. It's mainly for her sake that we're moving there. Opportunity is an event you can make use of. Yeah, that's true. It's like an external factor involved, which chance doesn't have, right? Chance is just like any, I don't know. Yeah, it's really difficult to explain. But I feel that as well, that opportunity has like a kind of external factor involved. Let me see. I think I want to go down this direction. I think that's a good explanation. Yeah, opportunities is something we seek. Chances may just happen. そうですね。チャンスとオポチュニティの違いはなんかオポチュニティはなんか何か探してるところがある。でもチャンスはなんていう偶然なことみたい。まあ日本語で説明できないね。多分結構わかりにくい。I think that might be Mount Fuji. I wish I had a zoom. I don't know if I can pinch to zoom. I can. Yeah. Do you see Mount Fuji? Mount Fuji. Oops. Now my finger ruined the focus.結構薄いの富士山が出ました。So, I will have down here. Ah, こんにちは TU さん。そうですね。スマホで撮ってます。ジンバルも使ってます。スマホはSamsung の Galaxy S21。ジンバルは DJI の OM4 っていうのジンバルです。So, like in the summer, usually Fujisan tends to look a little bit like this, a little bit hazy and cloudy on many days. But in the winter, it's often much clearer. So around here, it's very, very nice residential areas as well. We're pretty close to Futako Tamagawa now, actually. I wonder if I will find any konbini on our way back. I think I might, somewhere. Let's see if we can make that beer happen. But すごいね、なんか大きいなんか畑いっぱいある。回答ありがとうございます。いいえ、質問ありがとうございます。Is the S21 running Streamlabs or Prism? It's Streamlabs. Since I switched to Streamlabs and S21, it's I feel the streams have been very, very solid. So for now, I will stick to this combination. We'll see. Prism often releases updates though, so I might try it again at some point. But yeah, right now I'm pretty pleased with how how Streamlabs is treating me. And it seems like those issues I used to have when I was using Streamlabs on my OnePlus, they're not here anymore. Oops. think we got the thumbnail shot there. Are foreigners like allowed to wear kimono and yukata? Yeah, of course. It's very common to see non-Japanese people wearing those things. There's like in the touristy parts of most Japanese cities, there's always a bunch of shops specializing in renting out kimono to tourists. Ah, now I remember. Jenny, maybe you remember as well. We passed this place. And I think you looked up and confirmed that this used to be a konbini. But it's not a konbini anymore. It's a Haikyo konbini. An abandoned konbini. That means we should reach this very nice steep slope somewhere around here where we got a very nice view. Let me check the map again. What time is it? It is 7:15. Oh, nice little local vegetable shop here. Huh. I'm pretty sure this guy doesn't sell beer. Let me ask though. すみません。ビールはないですよね、ここ。ビールがないですね、ここ。ビールはない。ないですね。わかりました。ありがとうございます。Yeah, no beer there. And here we have one of these again. I love these. The vending machine for fresh vegetables. How about some fresh cucumber? Or some, I don't know what these are called in English. These are edamame, I think. Yeah, it's so nice that there are so many like green, what do you say, like small fields, small farms still around here. We're just like 15 minutes walk from my home. And those of you who has followed my channel knows that it's a pretty busy neighborhood where I live. But yeah, just a short walk away and you have these super quiet streets. Here you have a little tonkatsu restaurant. Tonkatsu would be nice. But I'm having dinner at home tonight. Yes, I think this is the slope I was talking about. T は自分で料理するの？今日は妻が料理作ってます。昨日僕が作った。でもあんまり料理あんまりうまくできないので。This looks like a very nice house. And here we have this gorgeous slope. Yes, this might be one of my favorite spots in this neighborhood actually. Yeah, so sun set about half an hour ago. But as you can see, we still have plenty of nice colors in the sky. This place. I really like this place. I'm gonna take a series of photos. We are pretty close to Futako Tamagawa now. Paris. Yeah, I love how it just opens up once you walk down these stairs. And it just, this panorama is very, very beautiful. Yeah, it's a pretty steep incline, for sure. So, 岡本3丁目の坂。あ、そうですか。住所知らなかった。ありがとうございます。Nah, this piece of land is worth a fortune to the right person who wants to build a big house with a nice view. For sure. Seaside? No, we're not near the sea. We're near Tama River, which is the river that separates Tokyo from Kanagawa prefecture. Again, my favorite slope. そう、この辺ファミリーマートあります。よかったですね。この辺はたまに知ってます。How do you plan your walking route every day? Basically, it depends on how busy I am and what the weather is like and if I'm expected to cook. So those factors usually, and also depends on what I've done earlier in the day. But like today I was just basically in our local area all day, so, and I didn't have that much time. I only had 2 hours of free time in total, so then I had to either make a very short walk somewhere a little bit further away, or I could just do a walk like this, just choose, I took the train for less than 10 minutes to get to the starting point of this walk, and then I have a little bit more time to do the walk, which is what I prefer, because now we have a family mart coming up, which means that I will get a beer. But the subtitles for the bits I don't understand. No, unfortunately I don't think that YouTube has live subtitles. I don't think there's any options for that, unfortunately. And since I do hour-long walks like this almost every day, there's no way for me to manually making captions of what I say. But maybe you can get automatic captions, but not when you're watching it live. I don't think you can do that. But if you're watching it afterwards, you might be able to get auto-generated captions. Good luck with work, Petri. How are your cooking skills on a scale 1 to 10? I forgot to press this press this button. On a scale of 1 to 10, maybe I would give myself a 3. A pretty weak 3 is how I would rate my cooking skills. It's a bit embarrassing, but yeah, I never really bothered learning how to cook very well. All I can make are various kinds of pasta. Basically, my cooking skills are the same now as they were when I was a student 20 years ago. That's beer. Oh, pretty boring selection here. Let's get a Okinawa beer. Orion. Have to wait in line. There's only one cash register open. Sono mama de. Suikaでお願いします。
レシートご利用ですか？
あ、大丈夫です。
ありがとうございます。
お願いします。そう。Sorry to keep you waiting. But now we have a beer. A beer from Okinawa. And thank you, Indy Ferne, for the super chat. Thank you very much. No vending machine. Oh, there's vending machines everywhere. But you can't buy beer in the vending machine. They only sell non-alcoholic drinks. Look at this blue, beautiful blue sky. How nice. So there's a vending machine to whoever it was who asked. Yeah, they're pretty much everywhere. Let's see, what else are you saying? It's getting dark. Yes, it is getting dark. It is getting dark. And it's beautiful. Japanese are shy of foreigners. I don't think so. I don't think they're shy of foreigners. I think some Japanese, or most Japanese, don't speak English, so they're a little bit maybe worried that things might get uncomfortable if they have to interact with someone who doesn't speak Japanese. But yeah, I think this is a good place for the beer. I think this little park is as close to a perfect beer spot as it could be. Wow, this building is quite interesting. It doesn't look that typical Japanese to me. And also, why is there a flashing light on top of this public restroom? Made me think it was a police box at first, but no, it's just a toilet. Okay, so let's sit down and have a little beer break. I won't be taking too long today because I don't have too much time to spend, but at least I will drink this. Kanpai! There we go. Kanpai, skål. And of course, before anyone needs to ask, you want to know the alcohol percentage, right? It is 5% alcohol. It says there. Okay, kanpai, skål. So just as we were about to hit 500 viewers, oh, we did hit 500 viewers. It will probably be down to 400 when all those people just realize that I'll be sitting down and drink a beer now. So, welcome all of you, all of my new viewers, and I'm sorry, but I usually do a beer break in my walks when they're longer than an hour. So you just arrived in time for my beer break. The good thing about the beer breaks though is that I am quite focused on the chat during the beer break. So if you have any questions, I am more likely to answer those now than when I'm walking around, because then when I'm walking around I often miss the questions. Short hello, hello artful soul. Don't melt. No slide in this park. No slide in this park. Tatsuya, is it hot in Tokyo now? Not right now, because now it's evening, so now it's 24 degrees, which is quite pleasant. But it was 30 or 31 today, so during the day it was really hot. Asahi is a big brand in Japan. Yeah, it's one of the major beer brands. So they're pretty big. I think in Italy beer is not so very popular. Yeah, I think so too. In Italy people seem to prefer wine and cocktails. Real fans stay, yes. Has Tsuyu started yet? No, Tsuyu is the rainy season, and officially it has not started. I think the latest news I heard said that Tsuyu will start officially on the 16th. So a few more days to go before we will officially be in the rainy season. But if we look here at this forecast, it is looking like there's plenty of rain coming up in the coming weeks, in the coming week. Beer time is very important in my walks. Yes, it is. It is. It is. Until when will Japan be on the quarantine or state of emergency? I don't know what you mean by quarantine, really. But Tokyo is currently in a state of emergency, which is set to be lifted on the 20th of June. So that's the current plan. As for, I guess, when you say quarantine, I guess you mean like when people are allowed to visit again, and that's still not decided. But there's been some relatively positive news in the last couple of days that Japan might consider starting issuing vaccine passport and might join some sort of agreement with the other countries that have those in place. And if that happens, then yeah, maybe vaccinated people will be able to visit Japan sooner than I thought. I've always said that I don't expect people being able to visit Japan until next year at the earliest. But yeah, that might actually, maybe I will be happy if that turned out to be wrong. Join just now. Is it beer time? Yes, it is beer time. It's beer time now. Is it summer in Japan? I think you can call this summer, but it gets hotter than what it is right now. But I think June is considered summer in Japan. Is there a slide? No slide. 小田急の方ね行きたいけど今日はそんなに時間ないので行けない。でも 2,3 週間前は二子玉川から成城学園前駅まで歩きました。What will you definitely bring back from Japan to Japan from Sweden? Lots of salty licorice. That's the best thing in the world, or at least the best thing that we have in Sweden, and one of the few things that I really miss here. I miss the Swedish nature as well, but it would be a bit difficult to bring that with me back to Japan. So, you have a garden space at your house? No, we live in an apartment, so. But we have like a kind of courtyard for the residents in that apartment building. What's the Japanese language school that you attended? How was it there? I went to a school called Kai, which is located in Shin-Okubo, near Shinjuku. But that was 11 years ago, so I enjoyed it a lot. It was a great school back then. I have no idea if it's still as good. I don't really keep it up to date anymore. Will you stream any fireworks festivals? Yeah, maybe. Most fireworks festivals, I think, are cancelled this year as well, just like they were last year, because they don't want lots of people together. But it would be fun to do a stream at a fireworks event if there's any happening. I'll definitely consider that. この後家に帰ったらもうお酒飲みますか？じゃあ飲まない。実はこの散歩しながらのビール以外はあんまりお酒飲んでない。そんなにお酒飲む人ではありません。昔結構お酒飲んだけど若い頃。でも最近はそうね、1日でビール1本で十分。By Artful Soul, gotta go, thanks for the walk. Have you ever been to a fireworks festival or Bon festival? Yes, I lived in Japan for 13 years, so I've seen plenty of all sorts of matsuri. Do you watch any other YouTubers? From time to time, yeah, I kind of keep up to date what other Japanese YouTubers do. And I also watch a lot of tech YouTubers. That's what I watch most personally, tech and kind of educational YouTubers. My favorite YouTube channels are, I think my number one favorite YouTube channel is probably Wendover Productions. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's made by a young American guy who loves airplanes and useless knowledge. He's great. He's great. I really like that channel. I also watch MKBHD almost every day. He's a tech YouTuber. And I watch The Verge regularly. I watch... there's a channel called B1M, which is quite interesting. It's about construction and weird infrastructure projects. What other YouTubers do I watch a lot? Economics Explained is quite interesting. Yeah. Could you post the channels as a list of links? Yes, I could absolutely do that. Yes. Have you done live streaming Kabukicho before? Yes. It's considered dangerous, yeah, but it's not really that dangerous. As long as you don't do anything stupid, it's very safe. Sanderman, yes, it's beer o'clock. It's beer o'clock. I'm having Orion right now, Okinawan beer. If I may recommend a YouTuber to everyone, I would say Electro Boom. Huh, I don't know that one. I will check it out. Thank you. There are a lot of foreign Japanese YouTubers. Who do you think is the most honest in telling stories about Japan? I don't know. I don't really think anyone is dishonest. I just think people have different impressions of Japan. But yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't really watch them that much, to be honest. I just kind of keep up to date what they're doing, and sometimes like if there's something inspiring that I can use in my videos. But yeah, I like some of John Daub's very ambitiously produced mini documentaries on his Only in Japan channel. I guess the old one. The new one, I didn't really find the newest things that interesting. But before he used to do a lot of like travel videos from all over Japan, and especially he made some from some of the remote islands that I enjoyed watching very much. So yeah.京都の祇園のビデオ見ましたか？はいはいはい、ありがとうございます。そうですね。今の京都全然なんか雰囲気は昔の京都と全然違いますね。観光客がいないので全くなんか違うところみたい。今の京都の方が好き。I'm planning to move back to Sweden or Scandinavia with my family at some point, but that's probably at least a year in the future. So there will be plenty of more Tokyo walks before that happens. Currently Hannah, yeah, she's great. She's great. I really like her videos. And on that note, she's very inspired by a guy called Craig Adams, who's also a pretty young American guy who does gorgeous hiking videos. I really love that channel, Craig Adams. He's also one of my favorite YouTubers. Virtual Japan, yeah, he's a nice guy. He's a friend of mine. Thank you, Ray, for the endorsement. Have you watched what my trip to Japan was like? No, I have not. Okay, yeah, we lost 100 viewers since I started my beer break. So I think it's time to move on. That's usually what happens. About 100 people always leave whenever I have a beer. Let's see, let me open my YouTube app and see if there's anything else that I should tell you about. Any other YouTubers that I watch. There's one channel called Mustard, which is quite interesting. It does a lot of like also educational videos about airplanes, mostly airplanes, a lot of trains as well. It's a great channel. And also I find it oddly relaxing to watch jerry rig everything destroy expensive mobile phones. He has such a nice voice. I think that's why I like his channel so much. He probably has the most pleasant voice on YouTube. Jerry rig everything. Check him out if you don't know him. Oh, and how could I forget? I love Tom Scott, the British geek. He's amazing. He's great. Okay, enough about that. Let's get going. What's today's beer? Oh, hello fungus. Today's beer is Orion, and I'm almost done with it. And now my YouTube app says exactly 400 viewers. It said exactly 500 when I started the beer. So that's good. Let's go. Oh, right. Kurzgesagt. How could I forget? Kurzgesagt is great. I even own some of their merch. I think it's like the only YouTuber merch I've ever ordered, actually. A pair of Kurzgesagt socks. Need to check a map. I'm pretty sure I'm heading in the right direction now, but I'm not 100% sure. Yep, indeed I am heading in the right direction towards Futako Tamagawa. Are there any bad neighborhoods in Japan? Not really, no. I think the only, like the worst neighborhoods in Japan, the only bad thing about them would be that they're very boring. But in terms of safety, I don't really think that there's any place that you need to worry about if you're comparing it to like Western standards, at least. If you could do collaboration with any YouTuber in Japan, who would it be? Huh. Good question. I don't know if I have any good answer though. I think it would be fun to collaborate with currently Hannah, because she seems like a really fun person. So yeah. Also, it would be fun to meet Rambalak, although I don't really see how we could actually make any collaboration in any meaningful way. But just because he's such a legendary guy who's been doing his walks for ages now, so it would be pretty cool to meet up with him. But more like, yeah, because I want to get to know him and see what it's like. Other than that, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really... I don't know. There's not that many other Japan YouTubers that I feel that I would kind of... that I would like to hang out with, to be honest. Maybe with the exception of Virtual Japan, because I met him a couple of times and he's a great guy. But also, like, people ask if we should collaborate, but I don't know. It's difficult. Yeah. Japanese Utah. Again, I would love to meet him and go for a coffee with him, because he seems also like a very nice guy. I don't know if I would like to collaborate with him, but well, maybe. Like, I mean, one idea that I've been having for a long time is to do walks together with others. And in that case, you know, it would be fun to go on walks with all those famous YouTuber people. I mean, I have lots of questions and lots of things I would like to talk to them about. So, oh, we passed here 3 days ago, this gas stand. So. 3日前ここに来た。そう、知らなかった。ちょっとびっくりした。So yeah, I've been kind of thinking about that actually, to do a series where I go on walk with others. They don't have to be YouTubers, but just like people in Japan that I'm... Oh, let's throw the beer can away. People in Japan who do things that I'm curious about. But yeah, for that, I think most Japanese YouTubers or YouTubers based in Japan would be quite interesting to have on board. Oh, thank you, Rosie Vlocky, for the super chat. Sorry, I didn't see it until now. Thank you so much. When do you think Japan will open? Well, I just touched on that. Like, there's some talks about introducing vaccine passports, and in that case, it might happen relatively soon. But for non-vaccinated people, I still think that next year is probably the earliest when things open up again. I'm famous too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel very famous, but sure. Sakura-Shinmachi には戻らない。僕はこの辺に住んでますから。そしたら玉川駅の方に行くと終了します。 know Eric Surf? No, I don't know. I don't know. Who's that? Also, where am I? And why? Why am I? Now I hear crickets. Oh, really? I didn't notice, but maybe, yeah. It's a little bit too early. I had a walk with a friend sometime last year. Yes, I did. That's true. That's true. I did that 2 times with a friend of mine. We've been walking together. But yeah. Since then, I haven't done it. I think it's time. I think I should really consider this walking with someone idea that I've been having for a while. Forgot his name. Nico. You have to change hands. Yeah, I do every now and then. Like right now, I just changed hands. Hello from Sweden. Hey, what do people say on the street about the Olympics? Yeah, there's most Japanese are against the Olympics, or most people here in Japan are against the Olympics. But the last survey they did showed that actually the portion that was against the Olympics had shrunk a little bit. Probably because Japan is finally starting to vaccinate people in a large scale now. I think the last number I heard was like 700 doses in a day, which isn't too bad. So yeah. I will walk down here on this quiet little side street. I think this is the same street as I walked a few days ago, so sorry about that. $700,000. Yeah. 700,000. Did I say just 700? That would be pretty embarrassing. But yeah, 700,000 doses was the last number I heard, or close to. Maybe it's like 680,000 or something like that. And actually, the city. Yeah, it looks like I will be able to get the kind of ticket that we need in order to make the reservation for the vaccine. I will probably get mine later this month, so that's way faster than I expected. So I think I mentioned all this yesterday, but yeah, I've been very critical against Japanese handling of the pandemic and the slow vaccine rollout, but now I'm actually quite impressed, and I think they deserve a bit of credit. They're aiming for 1 million shots per day, but yeah, then again, the Japanese population, like someone said in the chat, Japan has a pretty big population. We're like 125 million people or something like that. So and everybody needs 2 shots, so it's still gonna take a long time. But again, I think if they can manage 1 million shots per day, I think I don't really see any reason to criticize the country or the vaccine rollout. Can you explain the special relationship Japanese people have with trains? I don't know how well I can explain it other than that, yeah, the trains here in Japan are pretty amazing. Japan has really invested a lot into building a good train infrastructure, and personally I think that's one of the best things about living here, to have access to this amazing network of trains all across the country. And Japan has also managed to make this big and bold infrastructure investment in a way that, you know, ordinary people could understand. And most ordinary Japanese people are also proud of how good the trains are here in Japan. And riding, like, some of the train lines are like, they don't really make much sense anymore, but they're still there just because people enjoy riding them, and the train lines themselves has turned into a sort of a tourist attraction. So yeah, I guess it's kind of similar how like cars are a part of like the American spirit in a way. A lot of Americans seems to be very interested and fascinated in cars, and you know, especially if you look back like half a century, you know, America was really in the forefront of building cars. I think it's kind of a similar thing in Japan, but with trains. Oh, did this Family Mart close? Huh, that's a bit of a surprise. I did not know that. It's a little bit sad actually. Kind of like this Family Mart. It had the vibe of a like local grocery store. They also used to sell like fresh fruits and vegetables that I think was like grown locally. So that's a bit sad and also a bit surprising, because there's a lot of people living close to it. I am not a big fan of Starbucks, but this used to be my favorite Starbucks. But they closed in March last year. Now I think it just reopened as some sort of pastry shop. But that used to be kind of like my office before. I used to go there with my laptop. It was one of these like fancy neighborhood Starbucks where coffee was like 650 yen, which is like $6, which is quite expensive. But the seats were quite spacious, and it was a great place to sit and work, and they also had like really good Wi-Fi. So I used to go there and use that place as my office before the pandemic. Okej, hej då Joel. Lycka till med mötet. Jag tror vi ska sluta den här streamen väldigt snart också. So yeah, I'm about to wrap up this stream very soon. I will just walk through this little hidden path here, and then I will end the stream once I get down to the shopping street here in Futako, Tamagawa. So yeah, if there's any final questions or anything before the stream ends, please ask now. or you shall forever remain silent. Or at least until tomorrow, because I will stream tomorrow again. Tomorrow I'll probably stream during the daytime. Unless it's too hot, but it looks like it won't be that crazy hot and a bit cloudy tomorrow. So I think I can do a daytime stream for all my American viewers. As usual, I will probably try to start that at around 11 o'clock Japan time. And yeah, then there's the weekend coming up, and I think during the weekend I will also try to stream both Saturday and Sunday. So those of you who are fond of my streams, you have some things to look forward to. And also, yeah, if there are any new viewers in the chat right now, welcome and thank you. I do these streams very frequently, walking around random parts of Tokyo and sometimes other parts of Japan as well. If you enjoyed it, please, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you really liked it, consider joining me on Patreon. The link is in the video description. If you join me there, you will get access to Patreon only streams. I might actually do a Patreon only stream this weekend as well. As always, I don't like to promise things, so it's not a promise, but think of it more as a goal, an ambition. Random luck. Maybe I can continue the Tamagawa Josui. Yeah, maybe. If it's not too hot. The thing with that walk is that it's also, if I do it, each walk needs to be quite long. And in the heat of the summer, that's a bit of a problem. But I will see. I will try to continue that series soon. So yeah, now we reached the main part of Tamagawa. This is like the old Shotengai, the old shopping street down here, where one of my favorite coffee shops is located. And over here you have the more modern part of Tamagawa, with lots of high rises, etc., etc. But with that said, I think I will wrap things up now. So thanks everyone again for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I know that I did. Also, up here, that's the rooftop of Takashimaya, which is one of the shopping malls here. Up there is a nice place. I often go there with my daughter. When she's taking a nap, I sit up there and enjoy the view and iced coffee. That's what I did earlier today. So if anyone is around and want to join me there sometime, please shoot me a message. Okay, thank you so much for today, and I will see you next time. Bye bye! Hej då! Mata ne! Auf Wiedersehen! Vi ses!